Hello. Well, my heading today is that I'm still gaming, although it's going to be very short, for a short period this morning. I have so much to do. We are in a direct line for Cyclone Alfred. Yeah. It's heading. I haven't figured out yet how I can show you a photo or anything. That's something if we're still on air, that's something I'm going to do today. Learn how to show you something else other than the game. I know there's a way of doing it, of course, because so many others do it, but I'm going to do it as well. So it's probably only going to be a few minutes on, 10 minutes on this morning. We have so much to do today. My son-in-law arrived last night with his beautiful dog. So we have 3 dogs and 3 cats here at the moment that we have to make sure are okay, because we're in line for a direct hit. A lot of people have evacuated. I haven't. I'm in a very big 2-story house, and I'm hoping it holds up. We've done all the precautionary stuff. We've moved everything off both patios, balconies, I think they're called in the States. Here they're called patios. They're big covered areas. One's at the front of the house and one's at the back. And at the back one is where you have your barbecue and your seating and all that sort of thing. It's not hugely open, but the one at the front is. So we've removed all of the chairs, brought them all inside. We have an absolute massive basketball hoop out the front of our house on the footpath, because that's where because we live in a cul-de-sac. There's not a lot in the way of traffic, so the kids all congregate around the basketball hoop, which is a good thing. My kids are Dodgers fans, by the way, and Lakers fans. So Lakers for basketball and Dodgers for baseball. So they've actually got quite a few kids into liking basketball here. So we can't lay that flat. A few other people in our street have actually laid theirs flat. Ours is a monstrous big thing, and it has the full backboard and everything on it. It's already in a it's the bottom of it. The stabilizer part is full of water, which it's supposed to be, and we have rocks, large rocks on top of it. But we went out yesterday and got sandbags, so we've sandbagged it, and we're hoping it doesn't go flying, but we can't lay it on its side, so there's not much we can do about it. Anyway, we've taken absolutely every precaution that we can, so we'll just hold on. So far, this cyclone is so unpredictable. It really is. It started out on the north coast of Queensland. It came down parallel with the coast, and then we normally at the area where it would come in to cross inland, which is up around the Rockhampton, Townsville way, which is, those 2 places are much further up the coast of Queensland, and that's where they normally hit. But this one has defied that. It went out to sea and it dropped down, I believe, to a Category 2, I think. Don't quote me on that. And it lost a lot of momentum, and we thought, okay, it's going to do one of 2 things. It's going to gain momentum sitting out there over the warmth, I guess, and come inland, or it'll dissipate. She gained momentum and she started to come back in towards the coast. It got to about 400 kilometres, I don't know what that is in miles, about 400 kilometres off the coast, and she seemed to lessen again. And we thought, okay, she's going to move away. It's very unusual here in Brisbane. We're just slightly north of Brisbane, about 36 k's north of Brisbane, CBD. And very unusual for a cyclone to cross here. it hasn't happened in 51 years. So this is kind of a strange event for it to happening now. Anyway, it seemed like it was going to dissipate. It didn't. It gained a little bit more, and it's now moving directly for a direct hit to where I live, which is on the coast. So we don't know what's going to happen. We are not directly on the sand over the coast. We're not that close to the coast, but we're about 5 k's in. I think it's about 5 k's in, but we are on a peninsula. Now, peninsulas are notorious for not taking cyclones well, because the air comes around, like this is the peninsula is here, we're kind of there, and the cyclone comes around, and we end up flooded. I'm not a weather person. I don't really know. I just know that I have been in a cyclone before. I've been in Cyclone 4, which was Cyclone David, many, many years ago. People may have heard about Cyclone Tracy that literally flattened Darwin on Christmas Eve, of all times, you know. It literally flattened that city. And it was about, oh gosh, we were holidaying on a caravan park when this next one happened, and there was still a lot of people that were evacuated from Cyclone Tracy that were actually in the caravan park at the time. And then we got hit with Cyclone David, and so we didn't lose anything, thankfully, but we again on the coast. We didn't lose anything. We were okay, thankfully. I had a husband who knew what he was doing. Many people on the caravan park didn't. They lost vans, annexes, all the stuff in the annex, and stuff like that. So I was lucky in that way. So I've been through it. I know what it's like. I've been through the eye, which is just incredibly spooky. We during the cyclone, we were all holed up in the amenities blocks, and during the eye, it was like almost like a movie. Everybody came out of the amenities blocks and the admin building, and we were all talking, but we noticed it was so eerie. There was no movement, no sound, no nothing, and and then you felt this little breeze, and you knew that the eye had passed, and you better get back in. So into the amenities blocks that we went until it passed. As I said, we were lucky. We didn't lose anything. So this is only going to be very, very short, because it's 5:55 now. At 6 a.m. I have to go and help do all of our pets, get them sorted out, because my son-in-law bought his beautiful husky named Ghost over to us. Ghost is not used to my little very temperamental little dog, and that's a Brussels Griffon, and he has a temper to match it, and so he's not used to him. So I'm keeping him up here with me, so I need to take him out. I'll pop in my little wheelchair and I'll take him for a run. Normally we just let him out with Kobe, our Labrador, and they just run around the yard until breakfast time, do what they've got to do. But this time I won't chance that. Kobe and Ghost get on well, so they're fine, because Kobe's nearly 15. He doesn't do much at all anymore except sleep. Kobe's a golden Labrador. And so I'll leave them, but I've got to take young Jackson for a walk, so I'll grab him my wheelchair and I'll take him for a nice run outside, and then he can spend the rest of the day in here with me, except when he wants to go out. We've got 3 cats. We've got 2 I've got a Scottish fold, which is Sammy. I don't. If you've watched here before, you'll see Sammy often comes up onto the desk here to say hello and show off how gorgeous he is. And we've got 2 British short hairs downstairs, which is my sister and my daughter's cat. So yeah, we've got a few we've got to look after. So in 4 minutes, I just wanted to come on to say there won't be a gaming stream this morning at all, because I will have to do that. And we've just got to really keep an eye out. There's a couple more things that we have to grab from the shop, which we weren't able to yesterday, because most of the supermarkets, people are just going absolutely bonkers. And again, it's the toilet paper saga. I went in yesterday and we didn't need it because we use Costco, that's why, and not promoting it, and certainly don't get anything paid to do it, but I love Costco. When we were in the States, we lived at Costco just about, and I missed that here. So when the first Costco opened up, yep, you can bet who was the first person to sign up for it. We were, and we get everything from there, and we buy bulk. It's cheaper, for heaven's sake, you know. I will say something in the 3 minutes that I've got. In Australia, I don't know what the problem is. I've lived in the States, so and I've lived in New Zealand. I know the countries pretty well. I love America. I'm very, very devoted to America, especially a place called Bremerton, which is in Washington State. Just you go out of Seattle down to Tacoma, and then I'm back up to Bremerton. It's a small town. I live there. I love it. I love it. We've lived in LA. We lived in Hollywood Hills, of all places, believe it or not, and I really did love that as well. But in Australia, even though this country is so incredibly Americanized, and everybody embraces that, a lot of people will go on about, oh, bloody Americans, they think they're the king shit and all this sort of thing. I never found that. In all of the time that I was there, I never found that. I found Americans treated Australians unbelievably well, very accepting. You know, you'd go into a gas station and oh my God, you're from Australia, you know, and it was, you'd get to talking to people, or in shops or neighbours, whatever. They were really, really welcoming, lovely people to Australians, what I found. I don't know what the problem is here. Often you'll hear, oh, you know, we've become too Americanised. Well, guess what? You're the one that did it. You know, Australians didn't just get bombarded with American stuff. You bought it here. Your purchases, everything like that was when McDonald's came here, when Hungry Jack's came here, which of course is Burger King in the States. Well, you didn't have to go there. When Costco came, you didn't have to go there. No one forced you. So you don't have to watch American TV. No one's forcing you to do that. So if you and your kids and this country have become Americanized, well, guess what? It's not America's fault. Maybe you need to take a trip over there. And I'm getting angry now because it really, I don't get into arguments because I'm not confrontational at all, but and I don't like conflict, but I get angry because I hear this and I think, you've never even been to the country. You've never been welcomed by Americans who just think Australia is just the most incredible place, you know. There's a young guy on YouTube, and it's America Reacts. I think his name is Ryan. No, I can't remember. If I find it, I'll put a link, because he's never been to Australia, wants to come here, and his whole streaming is, his channel is about Australia, and it's always good things, you know. Yeah, sure, there's been a few things in there which is true, which are controversial, which are true, but it's always been his love and fascination with Australia. If I'll put it in a link in if I can. Hopefully I can, if I can figure out how to do it. But yeah, so look, end of my rant. Probably shouldn't have done that, because this is not really about that. It was just about the Cyclone Alfred issue that we've got. He's keeping our fingers crossed that the thing dissipates again and goes away. What the heck is that? Okay. That's very, very noisy. I'm going up here. I'm going away. I haven't got anything on. I wonder where that music's coming from. I'll go over here where it's quieter. There we go. Yeah, so that's what it's all about. If it does turn away, I'll be back on, and I'll be sometime today. So I'll put a live notice up for you, and we'll continue, because I did yesterday bring the last village up to level 10. Now that I know, because a lot of the villages that I've done, I got stuck at level 9. Now that I know how to get to level 10, now that I know how to kill brutes, now that I know all of that, I'm going to bring all my other villages that aren't at level 10. I'm going to bring them up, and I did ask the question yesterday about where do I go from here after they are all... Yeah, and I did make a mistake yesterday when I was talking. I said they are all at level 10. My villages aren't. I checked yesterday. About half of them are still at level 9. I don't know how I got the other ones to level 10. I think that was just a fluke, just an accident. Not sure, but I did. But now I know how to do that, and I know how to kill the brutes, which is the requirement to get a gem station. Then I will go on and I'll bring them all up, and then after that, God knows what I'll do. I did ask people to give me some hints, but I haven't had any back yet. I've had a couple of DMs. One day I'll do a question and answers, because I've had 4 DMs so far. Two are really good. They're asking normal general questions, but one was not too bad, but the other one was quite nasty. Really, things like, what are you doing at your age? Gaming is for kids, that sort of thing. So I will answer that. I'm not going to get into an argument or get angry, because obviously it's come from a young person. So I will get in and do a slight question and answers when I get some more questions, maybe. I mean, you can't do 2 hours on 4 questions. So if I actually get some more, I'll certainly do that. And I did say I will answer almost any question. The only thing I won't answer is something that is unbelievably personal, and I have 3 things I will not argue or debate. One is sexuality, the other is politics, and the other is religion. I will not get into debates about that. If someone asks me to explain something about it, sure, I'll do that. But I certainly won't get into a debate about it. They're personal issues. Your sexuality, your religion, and your politics, they're personal things. They're only applicable to you. And I don't come at this hating somebody because they're a particular religion or gender issue or whatever. I just don't get into that, anyway, so otherwise I'll start rattling on about that as well. So I'm going to end now. Short one. Got to go and take this pup out and do the things that we've got to do for the rest of the family to keep us safe. Keep your fingers crossed that Cyclone Alfred decides to go away, hopefully, and not create a weather event the first time in 51 years. I hope. So please stay safe, and I will see you soon, hopefully. So bye for now.